Hallo agus fáilte go trí héiscet an program ag BBC Alba agus a chud frospaig is na borannach íontach agus na scialachcan saoirte an na sùil spórs na Alba. Is me sé Hannah McKirdy ha méid táirte a go bhfuil sé an chluichetar rugby na Alba Heather Lockhart cádim sa stiúdio. Éad program na Cumnock. Cluinnidh sin na néachgan asúre bh Heather agus bríonn sin mo Cupa Rugbaidh na Cluinnidh a bhís atáiseach san daglair. Cluinnidh sin bh rionnag teanas na Alba Maia Lumsden a fhíochaint dí féin a bheis an na súnt as dúi COVID. Agus bríonn sin dí Mhari Lindsay bh Cumnock Juniors is dúi dúis neach Obraiche Saor-thoileach na bliana a bhónachaich ag dúis an SWF na sa chai. Heather, great to have you back with us on 360.
Good to be here, thank you.
Now, looking ahead to the Rugby World Cup next month, how excited are you?
Oh, I think everyone's super excited. I think the whole world rugby community is totally excited. Obviously, it was meant to be held last year, so it's still called Rugby World Cup 2021, but playing in 2022, and it's been put back to October, starting October the 8th, right to November the 12th. So it's just a fantastic opportunity for visibility, to grow the game, and obviously for the players to take part. The 12 teams that are lucky enough to qualify, with Scotland, which has won, they got the final qualification spot, and just group matches, so there's 4 groups, so it's just super exciting for them to be there. Scotland haven't qualified for a World Cup since 2010. There's been 2 other World Cups since then, 2014 and 2017. So I think the girls have just really worked super hard to be there, and not just the 32 girls that have been selected, but everyone who's put in a fantastic team effort, and will continue to do that and support the girls when they're out there.
Absolutely, and what can we expect from the tournament?
I think there'll be really interesting and exciting results. I don't think anything's a given. There's been quite a lot of movement in the world rankings recently. There's been sort of practice summer tests, if you like. There have been cap matches, and people like, for instance, Italy played France, and France beat Italy in Nice. And then in the reverse fixture a week later, Italy beat France in Italy. So I think there's a lot of swings and roundabouts going on, and I don't think anything's a given. England obviously had some resounding results. They beat Wales heavily last week, so obviously they're looking like one of the favourites. New Zealand lost last year heavily to France and England, but they'll be looking to avenge that on their home soil. They're just really excited. Wayne Smith, who used to coach the All Blacks men, are now coaching the Black Ferns, so that's just really exciting for them as well. So I think some really interesting results. Scotland have got Australia, New Zealand and Wales. All New Zealand in the 15s game, and Wales in the 15s game, and Australia in the 15s game. They have played them in the 7s, but all these games I think will be really close. Wales, they lost to them just in the second half, really close, 24-19 this year in the Six Nations, but they beat them last year. So as I say, swings and roundabouts. It's like cup finals for every match, so everything, you know, nothing's a given.
Absolutely, everything to play for, and as you mentioned, there's a tough group for Scotland.
Yeah.
How will they be feeling going into that?
I think they're ready. I think the whole point about, obviously, etc., playing during a pandemic and then managing to qualify, Scotland had to go through a two-stage process to qualify. They played in Italy last year, managed to beat Ireland in a really exciting match by 2 points, to then qualify for the final qualification tournament by dint of being second, and then beat Colombia. Who thought you would play Colombia in a final qualification tournament? So it was fantastic, and they did that really convincingly, 59-3. So I think they can go in with a lot of confidence, and they played the USA in a practice match recently. Just narrowly lost out there. USA ranked higher than them, but yeah, I think they can be ready, that they've done all their prep. Obviously some of the 7s girls are back in. They played in the Commonwealth Games in the summer. What a fantastic opportunity. Scotland had never played in the Commonwealth Games before, so I think they've played a lot of rugby, so it's just about gelling together as a squad, coming together at the right time, as in any sporting event, at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, it's been a long time coming for Scotland to be back at the Rugby World Cup. Yeah. Even just to be there is an achievement in itself. It's massive.
Yeah, it was interesting. One of the New Zealand players, they came second to Australia in the Rugby World Cup 7s, was only a couple of weekends ago, and she was very philosophical, and I really liked what she said. You know, at the end of the day, perspective is everything, and I think we've done really, really well to be second. It's just being grateful for being part, you know, at the end of the day she wanted to win right up until that last minute, but was able to accept it once it was over. But I think Scotland will be going out with realistic expectations to do a job in Wales, and I think Australia would be an interesting one. I think more better at 7, so at 15s I think Scotland have a good chance there, and New Zealand ranked second in the world at the moment, as I say. What an honour to play against them. The last time Scotland played New Zealand was in 2006 World Cup, so and Scotland lost 21-0. I played in that game, so yeah, I think it's just going to be such an honour to play New Zealand.
How big a deal is it for women's rugby in Scotland that we're fielding a team in the World Cup next month?
Yeah, I think so. I think the visibility of it, they did an open day session on Saturday, and lots of people could go down and get their selfies and get their autographs and really make that connection with the team. And I think the girls were obviously training predominantly full-time over the summer, and I think they've really appreciated that opportunity to do that. And I think people, the role models, and all the players were posting pictures of themselves when they were younger. For instance, Megan Gaffney, North Berwick picture when she was at the mini rugby at North Berwick, and now they're like a superstar. So that means that people playing mini rugby now, junior girls rugby, can see, oh, I can do that. So there's a pathway. So I think it's such a positive thing. There was 4,000 fans came to watch the Scotland-England match in Edinburgh at the Six Nations this year. So that's a record for Scotland, and hoping to go further and break those records more.
Absolutely. And as a fan, what are you looking forward to most?
I think it's just, doing themselves justice, because I know what all those players are capable of, and just going out and expressing themselves and really gelling together as a team, and they're more than capable of that. And Donna Kennedy was speaking to them recently, and it was all about belief, and I think they really, really appreciate that, a reminder of what they're capable of.
Well, we look forward to seeing what comes from the tournament next month.
Absolutely.
Maia Lumsden is riep soos na rangan tennis, mas de chud COVID fata statore sa toga keist I burigi kilig chuna rundin Cluinnidh. Sjó I och mhìos an diag it fallaf ha Maia gíse h-Alba just a hai viadesh a Cluinnidh.
Han tu farpasach an the tennis the vid carta the lúchleisige alpanach Maia Lumsden. As you racket a hokal a doshach, ike och.
I remember, I first played when I was about 5 years old, but earliest memories, was going down to our club and just playing with my family really, or going to kids sessions and kind of playing half an hour a week kind of thing. That was the earliest memories of going to tennis. And then I think one of the first tournaments I played, I remember that because I just remember the feeling of winning matches, and I really, really loved that feeling. As the years went on, I loved the feeling of competing, and especially winning tournaments was, I would always love that. So I think as I got older, I wanted to keep doing it and keep doing it seriously. And from quite a young age, I kind of thought I always wanted to do it as a career and be a professional.
An na dábhíle san nuigtíag bha Maia a Cluinnidh chumas a bha I Bheir, agus als na ranganan bha I misc na príomh dachiatas lichad Cluinnidh a séir san túil. Go mí orstnach bha Maia an nuair sin iad a droch láin, agus thug sin buai iad an airtas a bha Giannos in spars.
Getting into that top 250 had been a goal, because then you start getting into the Grand Slam qualifying events. So I'd been kind of working towards that goal for a few years, and so when I got to that ranking, I was really happy. But then that's when I kind of started to first had an injury and then got ill. So I was never, I guess, able to build on that and try and go higher at that point. I had a hand injury for a few months, and at the time I was quite worried because I knew it was an important time to try and I was looking to try and get into the Australian Open with my ranking, but then had to take a few months out. So it was frustrating at the time, but because it was only a few months that one, I wasn't, I guess, didn't think it was going to be an extremely long period of time. But then I guess with the illness that came, that was the one where, it's really, because it was such a long period of time, lost my ranking and wasn't able to play rankings for tournaments for so long. So I guess that was the point that was kind of, the most difficult in my career.
A siúigi ein seachat I bhí de gástachuch, ba Maia nuair sin na strí le COVID fàilte, with the chumas it fallahí bhó teanas son mhìos an diaach. Ba céisteach nuair sin an ruigi ein dáis chun in iad far an ráid.
At the start, when I first had COVID, I didn't think too much of it because I was feeling okay. I was a little bit ill, but it wasn't too bad. And obviously you kind of hear about a lot of athletes getting it and then being back competing in the next couple of weeks. So I wasn't too worried at that point. But then in a few weeks I just started to get a lot more kind of serious symptoms and ones that I didn't really know when I was going to get better from. So I guess at that point it was I wasn't really sure what was going to happen with my tennis and everything, being unable to exercise for so long. So it was a bit of the unknown at that stage after the kind of months were going on and I wasn't feeling any better. It was really difficult because I guess I didn't know when I was going to get better. I think when I had an injury in the past, you have a couple of months or you can rehab it kind of thing. So mentally it was really difficult because I didn't know whether that was going to be kind of career over or if I could get better soon. So I think getting through that stage was really difficult, and I just had to kind of take it a day as it comes and a week as it comes because there was no point looking too far in the future because I really didn't know what was going to happen.
Ha Maia a gatseige groie fúling go dána tar an am sin, dragal nach bíige comasa hí cloich tennis a díist, ach beked week gasi na seaar.
It was so difficult because my whole life had kind of been tennis at that stage and I'd always been working towards, trying to reach the top of the game, especially kind of going from a career high ranking. It kind of, I just wanted to be able to kind of live a normal life because at that point I was really struggling and just not able to do normal things as well at times. So I think once I got healthy enough to do normal things, I was then just so desperate to try and play again because it's the thing I guess most passionate about and I've always done. So I was just really excited for the possibility that I could get back.
Inist das a cloich agus nach go ag Wimbledon. Ha Maia Bheir son táisiige go díist agus riachan dí strécht suas na ranganan.
I'm so happy. Last few months have been really good since I came back. I got to play at Wimbledon and won my first match there, so that was a great moment for me. And just playing a lot of tournaments again. It's been a lot of matches. It's obviously tough on the body because I've been out for so long, so it's taken a lot of kind of adjustments. But I've been so happy to be back doing it after such a long time away. I always really wanted it before, but now it just makes you more hungry because it was kind of taken away and I possibly thought I wouldn't ever get back on court. So now I'm just more appreciative and I know that if I can do well and make it back there, then it's been like a tough journey to get there, but I'll be proud that I managed to kind of fight through the tough moments. I never thought it would happen this year. I always thought this year was going to be about building back and then next year aiming to be there. But things went really well with my doubles partner and a couple of tournaments before, and last minute we got the wild card. So I was really happy we could make the most of it and win a match as well. That was really exciting for us, and it just gave me more motivation to work hard this year to get our rankings up so that I can be back there in singles and doubles next year.
Ha Maia an dáchas barach laníana bhrásnacha gus tennis a hain, agus taingal on a hulasíana han spars the adhart yí.
I think there's always been fewer girls than boys the whole time growing up while I've been playing. It's a lot of the time in training with boys and stuff, so I think it'd be really good if we can get more girls into the game because it's such a good sport for females. At the top of the game it's obviously equal prize money at Grand Slams, so I think the more girls we can get involved the better because it's such a great sport for them to play. I think tennis has added a lot to my life. I've really got to travel the world and I really just enjoy the game, so I know that's the reason that I'm still playing through the tough times because I do just really enjoy playing the game. So I know if I didn't have that enjoyment, then yeah, I probably would have stopped during the last couple of years, because it was looking quite unlikely I'd get back. So yeah, I'm just very grateful that I've got like a passion like tennis in my life.
Heather, what an incredible story, and great to see Maia back having made a recovery.
Yeah, it's just a phenomenal story. Reaching a career high in 2019, 250 in the world at singles, no mean feat, and then suddenly injury and then long COVID, which, you know, just can't imagine what's like that would have been like, the real impact on her, and she's just so grateful now to be making that recovery, and I think probably better than expected. She's almost like anticipating next year, so this year's been a really positive experience for her. But yeah, absolute sympathy for her, and just real resilience and resolution as an athlete, and just patience as well, because the main thing was she didn't know with long COVID if and when she was going to return, and that was quite a difficult thing obviously for her to deal with. So the fact that she is slowly making that recovery is a hugely positive step. So welcome back, Maia.
Absolutely. I mean, so often when we think about COVID, we think about spectators and people watching, but not often the athletes themselves. What strength to come back from something like that mentally.
Yeah, because she was comparing her hand injury when she did that, and she knew a couple of months rehab, take some time out, it's okay, my ranking's all right, and then suddenly long COVID and the unknown, just not able to forecast when she would be returning to the practice court, and not even the practice court, just living, as she said, a normal life, doing normal everyday activities. So really, really hard for her, but majority of sports people know how to deal with that, and find a way in order to deal with that, and she obviously has, and obviously has got great support around her as well. Toby Smith came back he was one of her early coaches up to the age of 16, and he's now come back in January to coach her again. He's from Glasgow too, so obviously I think that's making a difference too, just the right people around her at the right time, and just encouraging her to fulfil her potential.
Yeah, absolutely, and coming back and competing at Wimbledon, you know, that shows what a talent she is.
Yeah, absolutely. I was lucky enough to be in the same court as her in May, and she was just looking for extra practice and just making just the right decisions at the right moment. Really impressed with her, and just phenomenal to be playing at Wimbledon, and that's really helped her doubles ranking. She was playing with a girl Baines, and she's 279 in the world, which is her highest ever doubles ranking, which is phenomenal. Singles is 600 odds, but that will come down. But phenomenal experience. What a boost for her to be playing at Wimbledon, winning a round, and she also played in the qualifying of the singles, so winning a round at Wimbledon, fantastic.
Absolutely, so the future looks bright for Scottish women's tennis.
Absolutely, she's not alone. There's Anna Brogan, Ali Collins, there's loads, and obviously there's the Billie Jean King Cup coming to Glasgow in November, so again showcasing women's tennis in the best light.
Yeah, absolutely. And Maia touched on there how keen she is to promote tennis to women and girls. You know, how important is it to hear female athletes saying that kind of thing, that they're aware that they have a responsibility almost to promote these things? Yeah,
I mean, definitely. I see at tournaments there's lots of girls playing. It's making the transition probably later on as a senior, junior, and then making the transition to adult tennis and obviously professional tennis, which she would probably like to see more professional female players. So hopefully that would be the case, and she's trailblazing for others. Yeah, absolutely. And going forward for Maia, what will you be looking for in the kind of coming years from her? I definitely see both singles and doubles. I think she's got the capacity for both. Obviously with her long COVID, it probably singles is going to take more to build up the stamina. Yeah. But I can see, I mean, she showed she could get into 250, so breaking into the top 100 would be amazing, and then Grand Slams, and the world's her oyster. So yeah, and obviously doubles too. I liked how she played doubles, so I was hoping that doubles would climb up the doubles ranking as well. And she's quite shrewd, she's funny. I think she likes the team element, so I think both the singles and the doubles she could contribute to. Yeah. And from a coaching perspective, how difficult is it when you see a tennis player or an athlete trying to come back and trying to kind of overcome injury, long COVID in Maia's case? How difficult is that to support people through that time? I think probably it's about the small wins. You know, just remembering, what did I do last week, or what did I do yesterday? Actually, that's a wee bit better. Yeah. And then just not expecting massive, you know, it's just a little, and charting that, and just mentally checking in, just saying, well, actually, was it better than last week? Yes. right, we're on the right. And it might not be that week, and it might be you plateau, but having that patience and resolve to, and it might be that you don't, but I think just from in terms of positivity, just like checking in and obviously surrounding yourself with good people, you know, and talking about it, and just sort of, yeah, and what can I do to help? And it might be, well, Maia, she never mentioned in that, it's amazing, she graduated from Stirling University with a degree in sports studies. So in that time, and there's a picture of her graduating this year. So that's a phenomenal thing to do as well. You know, she went and did that as well. And I think she said that helps her keep a balance, obviously, because obviously when you're away playing tennis, there's downtime as well. So keeping her mind focused on other things as well. But phenomenal achievement too. She got her highest ever ranking when she was at Stirling University. So congratulations to the coaches there as well, Ewan McGinn and Nick Rosencraig.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on Maia in the coming years.
Definitely.
Chuid Mhari Lindsay Sgioba Ball-Coise is an Cluinnidh is dói an na Cumnock na rionnag nach rá gurrasan sa bísa scíre is an bornach ága agus Cluinnidh. Inisht le cód a gáil páist of daon sinne the Mhari, ma surfachas a club agus h-Alba sa bhaid nó de bhuanach dúis neach Obraiche Saor-thoileach na bliana.
Ha Cupa Ball-Coise Clann-Nighean Cumnock a fàilte na húne. Sé an opair chrúi a bhíos duine a leis Mhari Lindsay agus na Obraiche Saor-thoileach eile a Giano a had cool sin. Agus na núne a bhíos a tar seachat son a club.
We started in 2014. It started with a after-school football class at the old Cumnock Academy. That started through Cumnock Juniors Community Enterprise, and it was through Scott Guy at the SFA that ran that class, but he quickly realised that there was, well, girls were wanting to play football in the area, so my niece was in the team, and he was looking for coaches, and I had been coaching at a different club, but didn't really last that long, and he'd said to my sister, would your sister be interested in coaching this wee team? And I'd said aye, and that was how it really started. I always wondered why there wasn't any girls' teams when I was younger, and I always remember my coach at primary school. He was an older gentleman, he was really, really good, and I thought, you know, when I got into my 20s and my niece was growing up, I always just thought, what, you know, somebody needs to do something, somebody needs to, especially in this area, step up and be a coach, and really I did not have a clue how to go about it. So when the school class started, it was a perfect opportunity to just start that single team, which led to a full club, which really for me was unexpected, but it happened. The aim was to just bring girls football into the area, because there's nothing within a 20-mile radius really. Well, maybe that's a wee bit exaggeration, but 15-mile radius at least. There's no girls clubs in this area at all, so it was really important to bring, you know, football for them, because you could feel that was a need. Well, my niece couldn't get a team anywhere, she had to travel to Ayr to play, and when I was younger I had to travel to Cumnock.
Hannah Hadhavan is siar as, a cielchuch gabil vadi is skippy and ura a háisichuch, sons could be corum ag na jefer buin an uishe.
So right at this moment we've got from under 8s right up to senior ladies team. We've just started a ladies team this year. We've entered into the SWF, but all the age groups, we're missing an under 18s, but we're established team that we first started with are now under 16, so they're hopefully going to move up to the under 18s and fill that gap, but the full player pathway is already there for the club. One of the reasons that well, we trained at a different facility before when there was only 2 teams, and we trained at the same time, and when, you know, I was bringing new teams on board, I felt that we had to stick together and we had to all be here. Majority to see that player pathway and to see, you know, okay, if when I get older I'm going to play for the ladies one day. So that was really the aim, you know, for the kids to have a wee bit of ambition by seeing their sisters and their aunties and everybody else playing.
Sé Ball-Coise an rút a bhíos a tos na bornach ága agus na Clann-Nighean a seo cálab. Ach a fis ag vada it na buanach an eile ha tían bo skip na spars. Han club om a fàilte a bhearach.
Oh, there is a whole lot more than that. We are not just a football club, we're a family. You know, it's a strange feeling to, you know, be involved in. It gets me emotional. The amount of girls, especially since COVID, that we've had is just incredible. I think they see how popular it is in their classes in school. The girls talk about it all the time. They can't wait to play games at the weekend. It's just made such an impact, not just for the kids, but the parents as well. You can see standing around, the parents want to come down and just basically watch. So it's a great social facility that we've got here, and it's not just about playing football. Yeah, we want to create the next, you know, Erin Cuthberts and all the rest, but it's more than that.
Hadúine is mácha gan opair Cruinne bhí hadda sé na Cluinnidh. Son dóchvías ag dúis an ball-coise an ban, ga je henimachig mar hakrug son dúis Obraiche Saor-thoileach na Cluinnidh. Dúis a bhuanachí ag a cheamhá.
When I first found out, I was obviously a wee bit in shock. I didn't really think that, you know, something for this area would be an option for a club like ours, but it was a great feeling. It was a great feeling for the girls, not just for me. It was a bit of recognition for the full club. Well, it was Rose Riley that gave me my award, so even just getting to speak to her, that was great. She's a lovely lady and an inspiration to everybody that plays in football.
Han dúis seo is misnach a horst de bhadí gus I héna fuchtach agus an clubbe a léatachach. Ag dúna na smúngin I the narút a gúdig I giano son na Nigheanan.
I think you can become quite complacent when you've got a club and things are ticking over, but you always feel, right, we need to keep going, we need to keep achieving more, and for me it's about bringing even younger girls into football now. You see boys playing in their 3 and 4 and 5, and our community enterprise does have like mini kickers classes, but there's none just for dedicated girls. That kind of starts at primary 1 to 3, so really we want to go even lower and get them in from a really, really young age. Player retention is huge, especially the older the girls get, so for me it's about creating a really positive atmosphere to keep the girls. We want girls to learn how to play football at Cumnock, but we also want them to stay and play football right through to adulthood.
Ha bhadí agus na coachí chéile I the dúhas a Cluinnidh mar há Cluinnidh Cumnock. Ach a statat ag sin. Féime to sùil a chumal amach son an club seo.
Well, we're hoping that, to be honest with you, I'd love to double the numbers. If we can get over 200 girls in this area and beyond playing football, I think that would be an amazing achievement. Getting an under-18s team together and also just progressing through the ranks as well, you know, especially within the ladies team. We're obviously just started, but we want to keep achieving, we want to bring good players into the squad, and we want to just keep powering through and making sure, you know, Cumnock's attractive to everybody, and that's really what the goal is. I'd say to any young girl that wants to play football, if you don't try it, you'll never know. You know, we've got boots here, we've got goalie gloves, we've got everything that you could possibly need. You don't need to spend any money to come here and even give it a shot. So I'd say give it a try, and you never know, you might just be the next Erin Cuthbert.
Heather, a great feature. What an amazing job Mhari's done in Cumnock.
Yeah, it's just phenomenal watching that, the facilities and the amount of players. She started from scratch, and look, all the teams she's produced, the ladies level, wanting to do an under-18s team, wanting to bring in the mini kickers. It's just phenomenal, just what she's offered to the community and offered to these young girls, opportunities that before just didn't exist, and just, you know, being asked and saying, well, somebody needs to do something, and she's decided that's going to be me, which is just very unselfish, hugely unselfish, and very ambitious as well, hugely ambitious, and quite rightly winning the Volunteer of the Year. Just fantastic.
Yeah, she's achieved an awful lot. We quite often hear about people mentioning kind of retaining players and trying to keep players as they move through high school and into women's teams. Yeah. But Mhari's mentioning getting girls even earlier than that as well. How important is that, not just in football, but in sports generally?
Yeah, because she was saying they have mini kickers, which is preschool, and it's mixed, but I think she wants to have just a girls one only, just to hugely encourage. They have that in tennis as well, just again to encourage them and to see and the visibility of it, and just I think the fun element, the team element, the girls together and encouraging each other and making it fun and wanting to come and wanting to stay, right up to she wants them to stay until they're adults. So I noticed that Cumnock Juniors are entered into the leagues this year, which is fantastic. So, and no doubt I watch this space because I'm sure they will progress up the leagues.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned kind of how unselfish it is, what Mhari's doing, but how important is it that more people volunteer if they feel able to do these kinds of things, because it just shows how much it's grown in Cumnock, what can be achieved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of all the phone calls, all the texts, the emails, to get it where it was, this in position. And she also must have created a team of other volunteers as well, I'm guessing, in order to all these people coaching and all these different matches. So phenomenal leadership and phenomenal team skills that she has. It's just rightly recognised. And she mentions Rose Riley, Erin Cuthbert, but she's right up with those footballing stars, providing something that Rose Riley would have dearly loved when she was a junior growing up.
Mhari mentioned the importance of trying to kind of keep players' attention. How difficult is that to do as a coach?
In the sessions?
Yeah.
I think it's just providing the right atmosphere and the right environment. They certainly all seem engaged and they all just want to play matches. So what she was saying, they were wanting to play matches at the weekend. So she's providing competitive opportunities at the right level for those players, and therefore retention is key for her.
Yeah. Absolutely. And for Mhari to win Volunteer of the Year, which you mentioned and was mentioned in the feature there, you know, how important is that for encouraging people like Mhari? Because as you say, she's right up there with the Erin Cuthberts in terms of the sport generally in Scotland.
It's not why she does it though.
No.
And she'll be sort of almost like, oh, it's great recognition for the club. But you know, she started it, but it just shows you what a true ethos she has, that team environment. So it's just phenomenal. She has that recognition, but quite rightly she's saying it's accepted on behalf of the club, because that's what she wants, to create that family. And you could see how emotional she was when she was talking about the family element. It was just wonderful to see, and the parents want to come down and support as well. I think that's really important as well, the parents seeing their girls flourishing and go, oh, my daughter's playing on Saturday, I'll go down and support. How fantastic. You know, whatever game it is, it's just, she's creating fantastic opportunities for these girls, both at training and in matches.
Yeah, absolutely. And that family element, I suppose, is what everyone's trying to achieve, whether it's football, rugby or tennis, trying to create that environment. Yeah,
absolutely. Looking out for each other, just helping each other, and just a big family, and pushing each other on. And she's hugely ambitious as well. It's just fantastic to see.
Absolutely, looking to double the numbers.
Yeah, I know. Over 200 she wants. It's just, it's just incredible. When she was saying, was it within a 15-mile radius? You know, she really has provided something for the community, and I'm sure lots of girls will go on to do fantastic things out of her club.
Absolutely. And what else can be done to try and create opportunities, whether it's football in Cumnock or tennis in Aberdeen? What else can be done to create these opportunities for women and girls?
Well, it's interesting. She started because one of the development officers had, from the SFA had asked. So again, there's a huge network with governing bodies, and it's just encouraging, and the role of the governing bodies to provide that funding, provide the opportunities at a local level for people to get involved. And they might be a bit hesitant, so they went, oh, ask would she like to get involved? How great, that personal approach. So and it's just encouragement right through the levels, no matter what. If you're Maia Lumsden at the professional level, the Scotland Women Rugby team, everyone needs encouragement, and she was encouraged, and now she's encouraging everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Heather, I can't let you leave without some predictions for the Women's Rugby World Cup.
Oh no. All I'm going to say is going to be amazing rugby, and it's all being shown live on TV, so you might have to set your alarm clock a wee bit earlier than usual. First match is at 5:45 against Wales on the 9th of October, but well worth getting up for.
I'll be up with a very small baby watching.
Exactly. Great stuff. Good stuff.
But for the Scotland women's team, what are you looking for to win?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very much a realistic expectation. There's going to be hard matches, but they've done the hard work, and it's just pulling it all together for those matches.
Fantastic. Well, Heather, thank you so much for being with us this week. We look forward to everything that's to come next month in women's rugby.
Great stuff.
Thanks now. Wel, sin ac is son yn noch yn nachieachgyn bu bwchleisige Paralympic ach Obraiche Saor-thoileach sa stiùidio. Chanorsing, dian cínteach gyfisiw elienting BBC Alba is on Cupa Rugbaidh da se chula gyn yn y program yn agyn. Císin sef yn achwyrus.